Look at what Elon Musk has talked about. He has proposed a third way, a third party, the American party. My next guest has been involved in third-party politics. He was helped behind the scenes with Ross Perot. He is CEO of Maslansky Partners. It's Michael Maslansky. Michael, thanks for being with us here today. It's interesting where we sit today with the two parties. First, to start, it's going very well right now, objectively so, on the economic front, even on the front of international affairs for Republicans. And that's left Democrats looking for some really extreme champions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Thanks for having me, Will. I think right now it is tough for the Democrats to come up with any message or any person at this point to represent a different perspective. I think what that doesn't necessarily change is the percentage of Americans that are angry with, fed up with, frustrated with the two parties that we've got today, which creates the opening for somebody like Elon Musk to step in with a third party.
You know, I think that's interesting, Michael, in that people often check that box when it comes to a poll. They don't like the two parties, but I think that's often a rejection, at least socially and conversationally, of the idea of being boxed into being a partisan. They want to be independent. They want to have their own ideas. And maybe they want a third option, but history, as you well know, when it comes to the candidacy of Ross Perot, hasn't embraced the idea of a third party. So would it be different for Elon Musk and the American party?
Well, I think you're absolutely right that the idea of launching a successful third party or a third party effort has proven to be extremely difficult. I think what we see in polling is that third parties are much more popular until you put somebody at the top of a campaign. And then all of a sudden, when they have to be for things as opposed to being against things, it tends to divide people. And so I think two things can be true. It can be that there is a lot of desire for that kind of perfect candidate in the middle that doesn't represent either what the right is offering or what the left is offering, and the kind of elusiveness of actually finding that candidate or group of candidates in a party to fit that bill.
I sort of reject that analysis, Michael, not to debate you or to say that you're wrong. I just think that people often pretend that they're in the middle. We always want to act like there's some kind of compromise candidate that might actually get our vote. But in real time, we're watching President Donald Trump redefine what it means to be a Republican, embracing policies that in the past have been championed by Democrats, whether or not that's tariffs or dovishness when it comes to an approach on foreign policy, or at least less interventionist when it comes to foreign policy. So I don't think Americans ask for someone who's sort of lukewarm. They just ask for someone who is unique and independent and represents their views. And I don't know, perhaps Ross Perot represented that at one time, at least to some degree of Americans. I don't know that that could be represented by Elon Musk.
So here's where I'd push back on you a little bit in that the candidates that we've seen, even President Trump, a majority of the population, more people voted for him than the other side. More people voted for him than ever before, but it wasn't a majority. There is a majority of people who tend to vote against any given candidate, and it is based on the fact that they have not found the candidate that they want to vote for. I will say either of those things being true, Elon Musk is not going to be the solution, because the message that he's bringing to the table so far with his America Party, first of all, even assuming that he's trying to create a party as opposed to just tear down President Trump at this point, the message that he's bringing is not one that is likely to bring any significant percentage of the population to the table to vote kind of for something as opposed to just against things.
I've seen you write about that you have to offer up what you're for, not just what you're against. You have to have inspirational language that guides people to you, not simply academic language. And I think you're right on that when it comes to communication styles. I think that we need to measure the moment. And the moment is that the United States happens to be doing very well right now, regardless of the sort of hyperventilization about Donald Trump. And he right now is representing the most diverse and unique political coalition in my lifetime, and perhaps over the last 100 years in American politics. It's kind of hard to launch a third party or define yourself as a Democrat when you're in the midst of a total iconoclast redefining American politics. And that's right now, Donald Trump. Michael, it's good conversation, though. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me, Will.